Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures, where I'll be talking and reviewing action figures from different manufacturers. Today we're going to be having a look at my first review for a Hot Toy figure. The reason why I went with this figure, it is because Captain America is my favorite MCU superhero. Of course, he is played by Chris Evans, and he may be coming back for the future movies, but for me, he will stay Captain America. We did see him in Deadpool, but we praise in his role as what is his name? Storm from the Four Fantastic. But anyway, let's get back into this figure. So while it's getting a little spin, you can see the box and the box under different angles. So we're going to be talking about this figure. Now, of course, this figure was not the first Hot Toy figure that came out by Hot Toys of Captain America. The reason I decided to go with this one first, it's because this was the first time we saw his outfit in the movie. So this is from the first Avenger movie. This is when he's going on tour to collect the bonds and he's punching out Adolf Hitler with the famous phrase that I put in this short video that I did with him, where he's talking about not everybody can storm a beach, not everybody can drive a tank. So you know the words that he's been spoken, and we're going to be talking about it because he doesn't always remember them. So what is interesting to know about this figure, this was a 2013 exclusive Toy Fair figure. It came out for us, we got the information on the 2nd of August 2013, and the estimate shipping date of it was for the third quarter of 2013. Now, for the people who are fans of Hot Toys will know that this is kind of fast, because Hot Toys for delays are pretty well known and don't always get the figures out as soon as they should and do not respect always the date of shipping. Now, the reason this one came out faster, it was not only a Toy Fair exclusive for Sideshow, it was done for Hot Toys before, and to prevent the scalpers or those people buying up all the figures, Hot Toys decided to distribute them at a larger number so that we collectors will not have to pay high prices on it. So kind of nice on the part of Sideshow and Hot Toys. So of course this figure is MMS205. So that would be the Hot Toy number who is given to this figure. And if you have purchased it through Sideshow, the number would be 901,898. Now, something very important to know, I'm going to be giving the prices for these figures based on what Sideshow is selling them for. So this figure went up for sale at $214.99. Of course, this does not include shipping, taxes, but I'm going to be basically calling that the price because, let's be honest, a lot of people are buying their figures for the rest of the world, are buying them directly from Sideshow, or are going to buy them from other distributors and or shops, and those figures are not going to be so cheap. I will be going into the whole, could call it a bit of a scam, for the reason why we have to pay so much money over in Europe or in different other countries than in the US. But that's going to be for another video. As you can see, the number MMS205 is also on the box. So now that we have talked a bit about this figure and all of this, let's have a closer look at what do we get inside this figure. So let's take a look at what we get in this box. So of course I have already taken the liberty of going into the box, but this is how it's going to look when you open the box. You're going to get the cover over here, and then you should remove it. Of course, I have already opened the box due to the fact that I didn't want it to have a bad surprise about anything missing or any problems about the figure having the issue with the figure from Sideshow, where if you want to go and look the review I did regarding our friend General Grievous. So this is wherefore I always want to go in. So we put the figures in. So I'm just going to remove this. You had a little plastic cover over here that was going to present you with our two weapons. Of course, this is the Thompson. Thompson does have the charge movement. There's no spring in it to hold it back. Of course, the Thompson magazine comes out. As you can see, it's a basic weapon, nothing too great or anything special. Over here we have this 1911 Colt. Of course, we have the charger that comes out on the pistol. There's no charge movement, which is a bit of a shame because this, I believe, could have been given, but it's a little detail, so let's jump in. As you can see, these boxes are pretty well fitted in, so this is why I prefer to do it, so I don't get embarrassed if the box doesn't open. So of course we get our Captain America in his first uniform. We get of course his shield. Here we get a small bandolier that goes over him. You will see this in the movie when he's doing these promos where they're filming him fighting the Germans, who I would say looks more like the Pacific or could be Africa. But as you can see, this is a simple band who goes around the figure. Now, this here is going to be an item that I'm really wondering how it's going to age, due to the fact that this is this fake leather, and the brown fake leather has a tendency of peeling and going pretty bad, and you don't need to be in any of these kinds of high humidity countries, so you have to be really careful with it. So of course here we have his shield. Of course, on this side, you do not have these little info sheets where this is the text. So, of course, these go sticked into the box, on the shield. So this is how he remembers his text. So let's put this. Of course, we have the text. Even if you zoom in and my eyesight is going down, the joy of aging. So you have the text over here. Of course, we have different hands. Let's remove this. This is extra pegs, just in case you have an issue with the thing, with those pegs. So, of course, we have the Captain America's belt. Something that I do find a bit of a shame is over here we have the ammo pouch for the pistol, and there is no ammo clips in it. Now, of course, if you have some World War II figures from Dragon or any other brands, you will have a few extra ammo clips to put in that, but I do think that it's a bit of a shame that Hot Toys didn't put the ammo packs in. Over here we have the first aid kit, and over here we have the holster for the 1911. Of course, we have his trenching tool that comes in over here also, and it goes in on the belt. So as you can see, this one came off. I can't remember if when I opened the figure this come with the figure inside, but this, just in case it pops out, it's very easy to put back in over here, and you clips it back in. As simple as that. Oops, didn't go in. As you can see, really simple. It goes back in, really simple to do. So as you can see, the figure is pretty easy. Now the belt, I do have a little bit of an issue about it, because anybody who remembers or has DID figures or even Dragon figures, when they did the belt with these little metal hooks, holes to be able to put them in, we did have a little bit of an issue with them because they started falling apart. So that's the joy of those metal parts. Now we're going to continue. So he has a plastic ammo belt over here. Afterwards, why does he have it? I don't know, because it was in the movie, but it would make no sense due to the fact that this is ammunition for a belt-fed machine gun and nothing else. But he does have it in his promo clips, so of course this is some extra parts. Of course we have the extra hands over here. So as you can see, we have 3 left hands, and we have 2 right hands to go over here. So let's remove them. They're pretty simple, just wet gloved versions of it. So of course we have the relax hand, the pointing hand, who is a bit logic that we were going to be getting those, and over here we have the figure himself. As you can see, over here some people would have wanted to have this extra head, but the way the suit is built up, removing this would look a bit weird. As you can see underneath here, it's not really made for it. Now, of course, when we're looking at it, it's funny that we see him with his shorts. As you can see, there's a lot of padding around here going around. So yeah, this makes the figure a bit fatty. But again, this is accurate to the movie. So of course, this is nothing bad. The head sculpt looks pretty good. it's pretty basic. Of course, you have the little wings. I mean, this is a huge throwback to the original suit that he had in the comic books. So, of course, this is what we have. Of course, over here, we do have the gauntlets who come over the hands, who's a pretty good thing due to the fact that you have to pull this out. Now, this part over here, the way it's done here, I find this very delicate, and I am really not convinced about it, putting this kind of leather part over here. I would have not mind not having anything or having the uniform that maybe finishes, because if you're not careful when you pull out the hand, sometimes the peg, it's not this pulls it all out. And as you can see, this is pretty narrow, so you can get a really pretty bad surprise if suddenly you decide to pull it out. As you can see, if you want to change the hand, it's really easy. You should come in like this, hold it back, and you're going to hear a little pop. Not this time, but and you should pull it over. Due to the fact that you're pulling it over, it doesn't make sense that you have over here. The problem is, as you can see, the whole peg came out and it really pulled all of this out. So this put it as a bit of a problem for your figure, and I don't think Hot Toys really did plan that part out really well. So as you can see, the figure itself looks pretty neat. Didn't do any articulations on the boots like they did before, who was a pretty bad thing. But as you can see, the figure looks pretty neat. Still doesn't have the backside of America, to be polite. Kind of needs to lose a bit of weight. And of course, we do have the stand with the Captain America Stars and Spangled Man version. Basically, the ones we get with every figure. So the last part we do get with this figure is, of course, the little explanation or instructions on how to use and where to put the different parts of it. Of course, as you can see, this is very simple, as you can see over here. So we have the instructions where to put it and how to display them on the shield. So of course you do have the different information of how does the bandolier for the ammunition goes and how the other little leather one goes. As you can see, it's pretty basic, nothing much over here. What I do like with these packagings over here, due to the fact that I have many Hot Toys and some of the figures, how do you say, you can't put everything on the figure. So what I do, I normally use this bag over here, and I throw in the extra pieces so that I have a place to store them. I try not to damage or put them over like this, but doesn't always go the way I want. So of course I put all of this in here. Let's remove it. Let's remove this because we're not going to be needing it. So if you decide to expose the figure, as you can see, by putting all of this in here, you should close it afterwards over here, and that means you keep it. So when you're storing this, I store these in boxes. So when I'm looking for the bits and pieces for my figure, I know immediately where to find it. So let's go on to, does this figure have some value? Do I think that this is a collectible item? And what are my final thoughts? So, what are my final thoughts about this figure, and do I think it is a collectible item? Well, I believe that the figure is a collectible item due to the fact that it's an exclusive version. Now, of course, the big issue is that we don't have a limited number. Even if it's called limited edition, we have no idea how many Hot Toys has made of these figures. So this does put it as a bit of an issue. So while he's going to be spinning, we're going to be able to enjoy him and see him under different angles with all his gear and equipment. So yes, I do think that this is a great figure to own in your collection, especially if you're a fan of Captain America. This is a must-have figure. Now, my rating for this figure is going to be a solid 9 out of 10. I understand that a lot of people, like I was saying, did not like the fact that we didn't get an extra headscarf, but due to the fact of how the hat goes on, I would say his uniform goes on, it would have not been possible for the figure. So really think this figure is great. There's a lot of accessories who are coming with this figure. Some would have been not necessary, like I was talking about the Thompson machine gun or his belt, due to the fact that this is when he's going around on the service. So I really think that this is something that is really nice of Hot Toys to have given all those extra accessories. So that's why I'm going to give this figure a 9 out of 10. And I would have given it a bit of a better note also if we would have got maybe instead of this fake leather, because we don't know how much time this is going to hold, and this is going to be a huge problem for my collector friends in Asia when places who are very hot and humid. So you really don't want to end up over there due to the fact that those materials have tendency of pinning, but not only if you're over there. So that's going to be it for my review of Captain America, the Stars and Spangled Man version. If you like this kind of reviews, please leave a like, share, comment in the section, subscribe to the channel, it helps out a lot. If you have any suggestions, any other videos that you want to make, which are the first Hot Toy figures you want me to review, please let me know in the comment section. You want to go and see some pictures that I've taken. I have an Instagram page and also a Facebook page where I post also a lot of pictures of behind the scenes. So go and check it out. You have everything in the description. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic day and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!